All right, so we are live, and I'm super excited to be on this training with you. Today, we're going to be talking about, can you fix that, Julian? We're going to be going through, by the way, I'm going to be your tour guide today, and we're going to be talking about how to create wealth while having a life. Can you make sure that we're streaming live on Marina's channel here too?
Yeah, I'll check.
Awesome.
That's just going to have to bounce because you're moving.
So, by the way, if you're watching the replay of this, make sure that you say hi, and even if you're watching the replay, and of course, if you're live, let me know. Put where you're calling from, or put where you're zooming in from. I'm excited to be a part of this training, and today we're going to be going through how to create wealth, but more importantly than that, how to do it while having a life, and how to do it using social media and positioning yourself in social media. And I'm going to be positioning this different than a lot of people do when it comes to social media. And by the way, again, my name is Tom Challan. My wife, Kim, and I have been building in this crazy industry for over 23 years. And we are incredibly honored to be a part of this community right here with Maureen Simone, because she's someone that my wife and I look up to. She's someone that's a boss. She's someone that's, and many of you already know this. I know I'm speaking to the choir, but I'm just so excited to be here with all of you in this amazing community, because there are there's very few people out there that are really out there with social media, that are really out there with teaching people how to build their brands, but also on top of that, making a 7-figure business within their network marketing, and also understanding the dynamic of building teams and building a culture. Because there's a lot of great trainers that teach social media that aren't doing network marketing anymore. And there's a lot of network marketers that have no clue how to position their brand to attract the right tribe and the right vibe through social media. But Maureen Simone is one of those leaders. And this community of amazing boss leaders are one of those few communities that are doing both. And that's what my wife and I are heavily passionate about, is not just positioning yourself in social media, but also how to really crush it and actually building the depth of a team. By the way, good to see everybody out there, Casey and Nina, and is it Rochelle and Casey? Great to connect with all of you. I'm going to rock this, and I'm going to go as fast as possible. I literally put together a day's worth of training, and it's going to be compressed into a very short period of time. If you want to know how to grow social media big, this is where you want to be. It's taken me 10 years to get to this point. And before I go any further, it does not need to take you 10 years. I'm going to share with you why it took me so long to get to what I call phase 1, or first base of social media. Obviously, today we're going to be driving heavily into TikTok, because it is the best use of your time, in my statistical opinion, meaning the numbers tell the truth, but also what we're seeing on the social media platform. And you could see some of the top influencers in our space, in the networking space, in the training space, in the entertainment space, in the Hollywood space, in the corporate world space, in the legal, lawyer, dentist, every industry in the world. There are a few leaders that are positioning themselves in the best place, which is TikTok. Okay. So we're going to be going through that. And what I'm going to start with is I'm going to be talking about the really big picture first, because I want to talk to you about the most important aspect of social media, but again, specifically going through TikTok today. And then we're going to talk about the big picture, which is also highly important. And then if we have time, I'm going to break down the thing that almost everybody focuses on when it comes to TikTok: the minutia, the details, when to post in the algorithm, how to do the details and the analytical aspect. And that is extremely important. But everybody in the world has training on when to post, how to go live, how to do your title, how to do your copywriting, all those little minutia things that people usually focus on first. To me, it's not the most important thing. The reason why we grew to over 500,000 followers on TikTok, and how my wife and I built a business over $4 million of sales in less than 7 months in our network marketing business, is because we positioned ourselves through social media. And of course, we know how to build teams and cultures and all the things that you're learning from Marina and the leaders that you're a part of this amazing community. So again, I'm going to dive right in right now and just share with you the most important big picture when it comes.
Babe,
Yeah. Honey,
what are you doing?
I'm doing a training for Marina Simone and our amazing community.
You forgot to put pants on, and my mom's in town. You're doing a training. Where's your pants?
They're not seeing what I'm wearing waist down there.
My mom's here.
Hey, are you pranking me? Are you pranking and busting me in front of everybody?
Everyone.
You don't have to wear pants on Zoom, baby. There's 2020.
He's got pants. I'm just kidding.
You know what? You know what she's
But
doing?
thanks for the TikTok.
She is pranking me back because she was doing a live Zoom with her tribe earlier. And I love crashing things unexpectedly. And we're going to talk about what just happened. Some of you are like, well, that was rude. That was weird. But there's also a strategy behind that as well.
All right.
And of course
crush it out.
Okay. By the way,
Merry
this is my
Christmas,
boss babe
everyone.
wife. I've always led in this industry for 25 years of building teams and being the top earner. And for the first time ever, she's crushing it with or without her crazy extroverted husband. So super proud of you, babe. Thanks for popping on and crashing my party. All right, we're going to talk about that here. Why what just happened was a very important strategic strategy for some of you, right? Everybody's got different personalities that are watching this, right? You're going to have different personalities and what you're going for and how to position yourself on social media. So number one biggest thing you need to understand on social media is this. Angel Whitmire, number one is you are not born with a spirit of fear. You are not born. The most important book in the world, the Bible, talks about, and many other books that talk about no fear or go for no's and all the other twists on that. The bottom line, the thing that took me 10 years to go for it in social media is I was worried about what people think. I was worried about fear. I was worried about how I'm going to look, my ego. Fear is a cousin of ego. And if you're afraid to get out there in social media, it's either fear or the cousin of ego. You're trying to overthink, overanalyze. You're trying to figure out your perfect freaking niche already. You're trying to figure out, should I do fitness or should I do makeup or should I do network marketing training or should I do this training or should I do entertainment or should I do jokes or look, I know it. I know it. I did it for 10 years. And the one thing I'm telling you, you're not born for a spirit of fear. You're born to freaking go. You're born to just go and start positioning yourself in front of people. And because the number one goal that I have that helped me overcome the fear, that helped me overcome the doubt, the indecision, the overthinking, the ego, the analyzing, the procrastination, number one is I know for sure that you and I are called for a very specific purpose. We were born for a very specific purpose in this world. And part of that purpose is to get your message out of what you're called to do, the job that only you are created to do in this world. And social media is the platform that we have right now in this world, especially with things being locked up. And the best way to communicate with human beings isn't always face to face, but we have this ability to get your purpose, your message, your products, your business to the world through social media. It is the highest form of leverage that I've ever seen in my 40 plus years of living on this planet. So the number one thing why you need to get over fear and doubt and innocence is you need to understand, you need to position yourself to get your message out to the world. And that's one thing that's helped me get over and start really going after social media like never before. Another purpose is even if you're afraid to death, or even if you're worried about what people are going to think, even if you're worried about all that, the number one thing that's helped me is realizing, especially with Facebook many years ago, is seeing those stories, the memories come around every few years, and realizing that my now almost adult kids are looking at when they were 9 years old and 8 years old and 10 years old. And they're looking at all those, the history that's being imprinted, the documenting, the storybook, Netflix-ish life journey of what you've gone through over the last many months, many years through Facebook, now Instagram, now TikTok, and whatever social platform that you're focused on right now. So what I'm trying to tell you is social media, your posts, if you're worried about what you're posting, if you're worried about the videos, it's not about you, is the bottom line. It's about your grandkids that want to see how dorky or how educational or how interesting or how ugly or how pretty or how whatever. And again, they want to see you. So you want to get yourself out there. You want to show your kids. This is another thing that really helped me. Show your kids if you have kids. Show your team if you have a team. How to really be bold, or how to get more bold every single day. And building a following to attract, obviously you want to build a following to attract people to your business and to your product. That's obviously the no-brainer of why we do it. But to me, it's a much bigger purpose, because if I'm doing it only for selling stuff and getting people to sell stuff, building a team, then for me, it's got to be a little bit more purpose driven, because it's not easy to show up in social media every day. Although that's a really big motivation. And then also, here's a cool one. And this isn't for all of you, but this is something that happened to our family this year, is because we built such a big presence on TikTok, over 500,000 people, we're actually getting paid up to anywhere from 100 on a low day, $40, $50, some days as much as $300 TikTok's paying through the collaborator fund or through the creator fund. So what's really cool about that is once you start putting yourself out there, you not only get paid for marketing your products, you not only get paid potentially for building a team and building that residual that we're all looking for in our home businesses. We also have that ability to make money on the platforms. And I think it's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, which is really cool because, and again, an extra $100 isn't make or break. We have a 7-figure business too, but it's really, to me, it's almost, I don't know why I'm such a weirdo. Even though we make thousands of dollars a day in our business, it's so much weird. Making that $100 to me is almost more exciting because it's coming from a completely different income stream, which I just have a new video people. So every time I make more and more money on social media, I'm just hiring new talent to edit video, do copywriting, or whatever else behind the scenes in my little smaller inner circle business to help support the network marketing and, of course, the training that we do as well. So it's kind of cool to be able to know that we can get paid on social media as you start building your account bigger. And I'm going to share with you how to tap into growing it really fast here in a minute. So you want to build a platform big enough to help leverage. Oh, this is huge. You want to know why you want to really go after social media and TikTok specifically is because, in fact, let me just tell you a story. There was we just got back from Cabo, Mexico with 200 people last weekend. And there was this one guy that's been fighting TikTok, right? He's like this personal trainer over 50, real buff guy. I wish I could show you the video. Go on my TikTok and you can see it. These two buff friends of mine, right? They're both over 50 years old and they're shredded. I'm like, dude, you're holding your message to the world and you're not getting it out there. Oh no, I'm on Instagram. Look, Instagram is not growing as fast as TikTok. Yeah, but TikTok's for kids. No, you don't understand. Trust me. And I'm not going to go into why. Every social platform starts young and then it must get older. Every social platform starts young and then it has to get older because that's where the money's at. Social platforms aren't built for kids always and forever. Okay, just so you understand. That's why I jumped on TikTok about a year ago because we knew that trend. So, anyways, I talked to these two guys, and I'm like, "Look, I'm going to show you how to grow your TikTok." And I literally did a TikTok with them, little prank on the beach in Cabo, Mexico, and that one video. Both of them grew by over 100 followers from that one video that we did with them. And one of them had over 700 views in their very first video, right? So one of the cool things why you want to build a big social platform is imagine building a platform big enough to where when you go on a retreat or a convention or you're with your tribe or you're Zooming, that you can collaborate with your team and help your small, not everybody, because you can't do it with everybody in your team, but the leaders amongst leaders that are already going for it on social media, that are pushing past their fear, that are going for it and being more bold, that you can actually, because you're a leader and you don't, this is not part of the requirements of being an up team or a leader within your organization. But I think it's a cool perk that if you have a team member that's really kicking butt and you want to help them grow their social media by doing a collaboration, a video collaboration on TikTok or Instagram or wherever, with you because you're an influencer and growing, that it'll help boost their views, it'll help boost their followers, and ultimately it'll help get their message out to the world, which helps them build more business, gets them more customers, which helps your business, and it makes a great asset, a great valuable proposition for them, and of course for you working together. So it's a really good leverage point as you start building your social media a little bit bigger. And here's the big one. We talk about creating wealth while having a life. And I mean that so literally, because the more, I want you to hear me on this, because this is what's been driving me for 10 years, and I'm finally almost fully living it. I'm not quite there perfect, but I'm almost fully learning how to live. And the more that we are learning to live the way that we feel like, and only people that are older might know this word, but recess or gym, or the feeling when you were 10, that feeling where you're like, Mom, I'm going to play with my friends. That feeling of full freedom, no responsibility, that feeling of being able to be fully free again. That feeling of doing what you feel God's called you to do. That feeling of truly living out whether it's traveling with your family, whether it's RVing, whether it's buying a Sprinter, whether it's going and traveling the world with your husband, whether it's just going to the top restaurants in the world, whatever you want to do, you can actually get paid not to promote your nutritional products, not to promote your skincare product, not to promote your transfer spending product, not to promote whatever products that you market within your company. But imagine being able to truly live life so abundantly, so free, so fun, that the more that you actually live, the more you get paid. Why? Because of social media. You can't just wing living if you're not positioning and working while you're vacationing, fun, leveraging, doing whatever you want to do. And I'm going to talk about that if we have some more time here in a few minutes. Hey, Julian. All right. So learning to live again is extremely important. And here's what I'm going to tell you. We're going to get a little bit more strategic. Sure. Can you tell me the time? Can you grab my other phone, please, Sherman, so I can stay on track? 50%. Okay, we're going to get a little bit more nuggets right now of what you have to understand if you're going to build social media and you're going to go big on TikTok or any platform or even small. 50% of every human on the planet is against you. Now, I may be over dramatizing it. That may not be completely, it may be 40%, it may be 20. I don't know the number. But look at political. 50% Republican, about 50% Democrat, and about 50% don't understand these people, and about 50% you're not going to always win them over right away. 50% of the people don't believe in your faith or lack of faith or too much faith or your whatever faith, right? I'm a Christian. I know when I put Christian, I know that not everybody believes in Jesus. I know that not everybody's a Christian, right? 50% aren't going to believe in your network marketing thing. And trust me, I love the thing. I've been doing it for 25 years. And I'm bold and confident about the business model that we're in. And 50% aren't going to agree with your looks. 50% aren't going to agree with your everything that you do. 50% or so, if you understand this, are not going to like your TikTok content or more. They're not going to like the videos that you put out there. And here's the really cool thing that's taken me a long flipping time to understand. This is gigantic for someone. You need them. You need the 50% of the people out there. You need critics. You need haters. You need people that don't agree with you. I am realizing without people giving me negative comments or a little bit rude comments or a lot of rude comments. Now, if they're vulgar and ridiculous, I block and delete them. Very rarely do I do that, though. Very rarely will I block them. Congratulations. So very few. But here's what I've learned. The haters, like whenever we do, like we went to Cabo with 200 people, and some of you are going to be a hater right now in my group. Oh man, I don't know if I want to go down on this training, but there's a lot of people that are like, "Where's your masks?" This or that, and it's like they fuel your Facebook. You don't understand how much that fuels the Facebook. And I'm not getting into a debate about that right now. I don't even know why I opened that can of worms, but what's really interesting is when you get haters or critics or people that are a little negative, at first I'm like, oh no, because my content for 10 years, I tried to appease and be nice and get everybody to love everything that Kim and I do. And we just realized it's just impossible. So realize the bigger that you get on social media, you got to learn that if you have a message, if you have a purpose, if you have a calling, if you want to bless people and transform lives, which we all have the ability to do in our industry and in this world, then I'm just telling you, it's just the way that this world works is you're going to get a lot of people that are against you in what you do. All right. So let's talk about the next strategy. So we talked about the biggest strategy, which is getting over crap, going for it, which is going for your purpose, getting your message out there, not worrying about the critics. Let's get into the specifics now. And this is what I want to tell every single person as if you were a part of my personal team. And I got a lot of this from Tanya Liza, of all people. If you give her enough wine, she gives you all her secrets when she came over and visited. There's a difference between active prospecting and passive prospecting. Now, I know Marina is really big, and Kim and I are as well, into not being, what is it, spammy, pammy. Holy cow, I freaking love Marina's content. She's one of the few people I'm like, I can't wait for her to prank her husband again. And she's not into spamming or blasting out your links, which you don't want to do. You look like a dork, right? But there is a difference between, I want my team actively, of course, doing videos, doing their posts, getting responses back, loving on people with their birthdays, loving on people on social media, engaging with people, building relationships. And I'm not talking kumbaya and you're spending like 5 years becoming best friends and knowing their dog's name. I'm just talking about being social on social media, getting some responses back, people asking you questions back, and then, of course, maybe sharing your product or business about that. And that's more of what's called actively, meaning, and then of course there's passive, where you learn from people like Marina and the leaders that are here a part of this community, and you build such a brand that's big enough, which takes time for some people, and might take longer than you expect for some of you, because some of you need to build your confidence, you need to build your influence, you need to build your posture and being active and all that kind of stuff. But once you build that passive, you build that brand, like you're learning about this community, then you get to a point where you have enough people reaching out to you. And here's another analogy I have for that. It's kind of like the difference between having a farm where you have to raise your food to eat. That's actively surviving. If that was your only option to survive, is to actively go and get your food, like back 200 years ago, you didn't have a grocery store. You didn't have Instacart where food delivered to your door from an app, right? You had to go and get your food. You have to hunt for it. You have to grow your food to live for you and your babies or your family. That's active. Passive is where you click Instacart and food is delivered. In network marketing, everybody's trying to get their leads and their prospects instantly, taking a social media course and have this ability to have all these leads coming in. Building on social, building your brand takes a little bit of time. So what I want to tell all of you, and I know your community teaches this, is make sure you eat, make sure you breathe, which means you're actively connecting and building relationships. A little bit of manual labor for maybe 6 months, a year, 3 months, or longer, but you want to stay actively prospecting, building relationships every single day. Don't mess around. You can't mess around or you will not survive. Here's the next point: speed versus overthinking. I watch some people doing TikToks and social media posts, and literally you could spend an hour trying to make your color imaging perfect, your words perfect, redoing it 15 times, redoing it over and over. And sometimes I redo it 3 and 4 and 5 times. Yes, I do. But I do it fast. Like if I messed up the words, if I want to get a better take, I will redo it. But I'm just telling you, if you are not actively going for your food, actively having a mindset that you're going to bring in 2 to 4 enrollments a week, minimum 2 to 4 enrollments a week. And I'm not saying you will, but if you don't focus on eating, surviving, you will get caught. You will get caught pretending. You'll get caught being a player on social media instead of, a spectator instead of a player. You gotta learn that speed is, in my strong opinion, on especially the world that we're in right now, the world is going into more quick content, quicker videos, quicker stories on Instagram, quicker stories on Facebook. Soon YouTube's coming up with YouTube Shorts. So we're in a world where it's like, tell me in 15 seconds, tell me in a minute, don't waste my time. And you'll learn to just, the better that you get at doing that, the better that you're going to be able to, start telling your story, and better you're going to be able to start creating content out there. And I know if you're an analytic, if you're living in fear, still a little bit too much, if your ego's a little bit too big, I know it's hard. You got to learn. If you're hesitating too much, you got to really pray about it, think about it, analyze it, look in the mirror and go, is my ego too big to just start putting content out there? You're worried about people are going to think too much, which is, again, ego and fear. All right, question for you. I want it in the comments, okay? little intermission here as we're wrapping up. Got about 15 minutes or so left. What do you think when you're doing social media every day? What do you think the most important goal that you want to achieve when you're doing a video on TikTok or Instagram or wherever? What do you think the outcome or the goal that you should be thinking that you want to accomplish? Then I hope I'm saying this right, but I'm just curious to get your answers, even if you don't fully understand. What do you think the mindset should be? And I'm trying to look for this holy grail of mindsets that I now have. And I'm not talking about posture. I'm not talking about confidence. I'm talking about how do you want to strategically position your videos? Like what would be a really good outcome that you want to achieve? Can you give me a couple quick words of what you think that might be on social media? I mean, in the messaging right here in the community. Can someone type in, what do you think you want to accomplish? The mindset. And I'll tell you what I got from Will Smith and Netflix. I got this from Will Smith, one of the greatest actors in the world, and Netflix. Is the comments working, or are you guys just not commenting? All right, if you're watching the replay, make sure you comment. I'm just going to keep moving forward because I don't see the comments here. For some reason, maybe it's delayed. Yeah, it's showing delayed. Okay, either way, I'm going to rock and roll. Here's what I will tell you, okay? Touching and inspiring. That's actually really close. Creating more conversations. All absolutely true, okay? Here's what I seek in that, and both of those are hugely powerful. Here's what I seek. And this is what I'm hiring a new video guy. And he is really into the transitions. He's really into the quality of the video. He's really into the logistics, Ellie. What I look for when I'm doing a TikTok or a story is I'm looking for the story. If you watch Netflix, it is the most addicting thing in the world. I was on vacation up in Park City a few weeks ago, and I got on this series called Billionaire, or I don't think it was on Netflix, but it was on some channel. It is so freaking addictive because they know how to tell a story, and they know how to tell all these open loops where they tell you something, but they never flippin' finish. They don't tell you the freaking finish. So I'm learning and I'm getting better. And the reason why I think a lot of people like my TikToks is I tell a little bit of a story about my kids or about my daughter's friends that are boys. And I'm creating this open story about my daughters who now have friends that are boys. And if you hear my TikToks in the background, my daughters are always saying, Dad, they're not friends that are boys. It's my boyfriend. I'm like, no. I'm not calling them boyfriend. They haven't earned the boyfriend title yet. And it's this narrative. It's this story. It's this open loop on social media. So the number one thing, in my opinion, that I focus on is when I'm doing a social media, I'm learning to tell a story. How do you tell a good story? Of course, watch some Netflix, but don't binge. But also do speed. Not do speed. Do your social media with speed, right? You'll learn to tell more stories. You'll learn to engage in more stories. You'll learn to see things around you that can become a story. And the more that you open your mind and the more that you start being more bold, the more you start worried about blessing people and just getting the more that you start opening up, the more that you'll start seeing a story in different circumstances in your day. I asked Marina, what can I do for your community? And she says, I just love how you tell your story. My life is like a documentary. And so I don't have to figure out how to do the dumb TikTok dances. Not going to do it. I don't want to. I don't want to do the dumb lip syncing. I don't want to. So find another way to win on TikTok. One of the things that we do, and I didn't know if it would work, we took a chance and we just started kind of being a little bit like Instagram. But again, you got to be a little bit more creative in the way that you do that with a little bit more short, poppy, interesting stories on TikTok. Now, what should you do for your niche? Two quick approaches. And again, this could take a lot more time, but I'm going to kind of nail it really fast. You have two options to go for content on TikTok or Instagram or any of them. You could do the wide approach or you could do the narrow approach. And I'm going to tell you what works. Both have pros, both have cons, negatives, okay? Both are very powerful. I've decided to go for a little bit different than most trainers or network marketers are doing right now, especially because I know social media hates. Most social media doesn't like Christian content. Most social media doesn't like political views when it's the wrong political. Most social media does not like MLM. It's not TikTok. Almost all social platforms put in their policies and procedures, right? That you can't be in a pyramid scam, which we're not. They have a perception that's wrong. We know it, but they don't want a bunch of spammers. They don't want a bunch of weirdos pitching their income claims and doing the things that none of you would do. Okay. So you have two approaches, and Kim and I have chosen to go with the wide approach, where it's a lot more generic. It's more lifestyle. It's more freedom. It's more goofy. It's more entertainment. And yes, is it our ideal target market right now? No. And we understand that. It's not. But what's really interesting is when people know you and they like you and they trust you, and sooner or later, believe it or not, they start to fall in love with you in a weird way. Like Kim and I are at the park, or we just got back. We went to where did we go? Cancun, Mexico. So we're in Cabo, and we went to Cancun, Mexico, and oh, there was a guy just randomly. People come up to us and they're like, "Oh my gosh, are you that TikTok couple?" It's crazy the perception that you become when you put yourself out there. So people will start to know you. They'll start to like you. They'll start to trust you. They'll start to love you. They tell you, and you'll change lives with your content. It's crazy. And whenever, and again, we do 98% fun lifestyle posts. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but we know that, like Kim with her product, we put out one small post and we got 300 leads. Like, so whenever we're ready to strike, and Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this, it's jab, 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 and then you go for the right hook, which is the ask. So we are just going more of the Gary Vaynerchuk type approach, not maybe the Grant Cardone approach. And again, they both work, which is kind of cool. So you could pick and choose. Now, so we go for the wide approach. Now we are starting to get more narrow with positive messages, training, home business, freedom. We are starting to narrow that a little bit, but it's been really cool. We found that it grew our base really big and fast. And yes, there's a bunch of 15-year-olds in there and 18-year-olds that aren't our ideal market. But what's interesting is the kids are telling their parents about our business, and hey, you should work with these people. Hey, you should check out this person's product. So it is interesting how just keep getting yourself out there, and you'll create a reach that'll come back around and bless you. But then there's the narrow approach, and it is working. My friend Clark Bartram, #1 fitness guy in the world, could not build on Facebook to save his life, could not build on Instagram big to save his life. Neither could I. Instagram has been a pain in the butt for me. But he got on TikTok, and his thing is fitness over 50. Very narrow. No, men fitness over 50. And his account blew up. I don't even know. He's at like 400,000 followers in a few short months. And so he's going micro niche, and he's getting people that are specifically targeted to his tribe. So the positive to that, by being niche on network marketing training, or niche around, your product or service. And again, I don't think you should be full niche in TikTok, by the way. I think the majority should still be a little bit educational, entertainable, fun, interesting, creative, and of course, putting your product in, which I know I watch Marina. She does such a good job at this. So you want to be creative in how you do that anyways, even if you are getting a little bit more niche. So again, pros and cons to both, and it really works. You want to find, if you're doing the narrow approach or the wide one, you want to find out what really works. And over time, you could see your statistics of what really works. Unfortunately, what's really working for me is pranking my kids, or catching my kids doing random things throughout the day, or my wife. It's almost like, and we don't have time to go into this too much, but in every TikTok, I want to have something unexpected happen if I can. And I always want to have a prop. Sometimes my props are my kids or my kids' boyfriends, or friends that are boys, or my wife. I'm messing with my wife, like I was pranking her on her Zoom earlier. So having things that are random and unexpected, because people are watching your TikTok and they're like, you're talking, you're doing your thing or whatever, and then all of a sudden something happens. Like what happened when Kim came in here? Because some of you are like, okay, listening to my training, who's this big nose dude, right? What's this dude gonna teach me? And then all of a sudden something creative happened. For some of you are like, wow, that's kind of rude. Why is his wife coming in here talking about us not wearing pants, right? You may not like it, but it's unexpected. You're like, what the heck's going on? You're like, it's kind of weird and unexpected. And what we found, and I don't like it, but what we found is the more I'm a kind of an extroverted, goofy kind of guy, anyways. But what I found, which I can't even get my hat on straight. Holy cow! How do you? Okay, the goofier, I'm even more goofy when I'm on TikTok. I'm a little bit more cringy on TikTok because again, I'm not necessarily seeking out the haters, but sometimes I'm a little bit just going for it or a little weird with my kids, like pranking my daughter was hugging her boyfriend a few weeks back. She was hugging her boyfriend, and I was in the balcony up above them upstairs right here, and I'm like just screaming at them like, hey, what are you guys doing? Right? What are you kissing my daughter for? Something like that. And it got over 10 million views. One video one video can change your life. One video can boost your account into the thousands and then potentially tens of thousands and then maybe even the hundreds. One video. So you might be grinding, doing a video, doing your video, doing your video, and then all of a sudden something unexpected happens in a video. All of a sudden something unique happens. All of a sudden, for some reason, the algorithm, whatever's out there, catch your video and it goes nuts. And then you'll see every one of your videos start spiking. And all the videos you think that you did such a good job with are they got no views and no follow. All of a sudden on your 100th video, your 50th, your 200, whatever video, all of a sudden, kaboom, it goes crazy. So be okay giving a little bit of a friction, because I got so many negative comments like, leave them alone, right? And we're into purity for my family, meaning our daughters, our prayer is that they're virgins. All four of my daughters, virgins at birth. I mean, virgins at their wedding, right? That's our intention. But we get some, a lot of haters like, leave them alone, just some really rude comments. So, but it really, a lot of those people are like, leave them alone, and all those things that are coming at me for being a little bit weird and being a little bit like, hey, leave my daughters. It's amazing how, again, that helps boost it, because without it, I wouldn't have any viral videos. There are ways to go viral without being a little bit weird or cringy or interesting, but that's when you got to be like a really high level boss with your TikTok, and that's where you have to be, Will Smith, or have some really bomb type content that you do consistently, and then even then you're no guarantee. Because I see people that are some of the biggest influencers in the world. I mean, for a while, I can't even tell you some of the, Kim and I have bigger accounts. We have about 2 million followers on TikTok with our family, over 2 million with our family. And my account alone has more than some of the top actors in the world. Now, obviously, they're going to probably surpass me, right? Because they're influenced. But for the last many months, I see them putting out their content. I'm like, dude, they have no following. They have no growth. And I forgot my point, telling why I'm telling you that. But all right, so here's what I'm going to tell you when you do your narrow thing, when you do your narrow approach. Here's what you have to do. You have to learn to prosper where you're planted. Meaning, if you're going to give a niche content like fitness or network marketing training or home business or leadership training or positive vibes or happy vibe or meal planning or eating or tennis or golf or whatever you do for your micro niche leading into your business, whatever that micro niche may be, you've got to really understand that you got to get your message out there, and that you got to prosper where you're planted, which means if you're going to put out content, put it out there with confidence, put it out there with boldness. I talk about that, so I'm going to move on for time's sake. You're made in the image of God. So, which means that when you put out content, it's just do the best Be the best that you can be specifically around that content. It doesn't mean you're going to be the best at network marketing training or social media training or whatever you do, but you got to really understand if you're going to get micro niche, you've got to really be the best that you're called to be and not worry about what others think. And I know I talk about a lot about that. You got to love. When you learn to love people, your content, like, and I'm not saying you don't love people, but when you truly understand in Corinthians the word love is meant to serve. Love is not about how you look on social media. It's not about how good you think you are. Because I watch some of the biggest friends of mine that are influencers on social media bombing because their content about their fitness or whatever they're doing is so stupid because it's all about they think they're really the bomb.com and they're like, look at my 21, I don't know, it's too inwardly focused on their content. Now, of course, a lot of it's about you, but you really got to think of the other person. Are you entertaining? Are you educating? Are you talking to the one right now? I'm only talking to you. Right now, I want to give you the best value for you and your personal goals. Now, am I talking to all of, and I hate these words, you guys? Am I talking to all of you guys? No, but technically, yeah, right? I'm talking to a bunch of you, but I'm only speaking to one of you. So when I do TikTok content, I'm thinking of one person. When I do live stream videos, I'm thinking of one person as much as I can. And of course, I say you guys once in a while, or you all, right? But my main focus is you, and it's not about me. And when you understand that about TikTok and social media, you're going to do a much better job positioning the love to serve other people better, and you're going to get much better content out there to the world. All right, you were born. I'm going to put this in there because I talk a lot about a bunch of Christian content, and I'm going to kind of shake the Christians up now a little bit. You're born to kick ass, right? You were born to kick ass. You were born to crush it. All right, we're going to move on from that. There's so much I want to talk about with that. I'm going to talk about my strategy really quickly, very, very quick as we're wrapping up here in the next few minutes. My strategy, of course, I talk about going wide, and then I'm going to niche that down for sure. And what's really cool about the more that you learn to live, the more that you learn to live really authentically and have more fun in this world. I don't know about you, but I've come to the point where I don't want to sit at my desk, even though I've worked at home my entire adult life. I've never had a job since I was 17 years old. I've been in network marketing my whole entire life, made millions of dollars, massive leverage, do whatever I want for 20 plus years. Not always perfect, but been crazy freedom leverage lifestyle. What's really crazy about that is I'm kind of bored sitting at home now. I want to be adventurous. I want to be on my mountain bike. I want to be having fun. And with social media, you can position yourself to travel more. You can position yourself to do whatever you want in this world. But learn to turn this dang, unbelievable, crazy device. Learn how to tell a story right here. Learn how to talk in here. Learn how to position yourself where if you want to build, you love mountain biking. I legitimately think I can build a 7-figure business in network marketing by building a mountain bike community and just traveling the world with the best trails, the best races, and just literally meeting mountain bike people all over the world and documenting the whole dang thing and attracting a whole bunch of adventure people just like me and have enough prospects that I attract, Shin Marketing, that I can enroll in my product base and or my business space and partner with me in the team. Does that make sense? You could do it around anything you want in this world right now, but you've got to learn to just be bold. You got to be willing to go get your social media going. You got to be willing to just start grinding, and it feels like it's not working after a month or 2 or 3. You've got to learn to keep going with that. So real quick, fun adventures. I'm doing my first jiu-jitsu tournament, scared to death. I'm 48 years old. I'll be wrestling with 20 and 30-year-olds, right? I'm partnering with YouTubers that spearfish in Bali, that dirt bike ride. Why? Because I want to do it for the fun of it. I want to go on an adventure around the world, but I'm also going to be doing the most important thing. And I'm not going to go through the micro strategies like everybody talks about, like I said, but I'm going to give you one monster micro strategy. My number one growth hack, if there is a growth hack, it's not posting the 3 times or 5 times or 20 times a day. It's not the picking the time to post your content. All that's important. Learn from all the leaders, speakers, learn from all the strategy stuff. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going to put that much work into social media, find someone that has a slightly or bigger account than you, if you're bold enough to go after it, and DM I DM'd these really pretty 21-year-old Miss America. I didn't know they were Miss America, but they're hunters. They're Christian hunters in Arkansas, and there's like 4 of their best friends. I messaged them the other day on Instagram, and of course I said, hey, my wife, always saying a woman, so you know I'm not some weird old dude. My wife and I love your TikToks. By the way, here's our account. And of course it helps if you have an account that's growing and big, or, you know, at your level, or maybe above their level, or even if you only have 100 or 200 or 500 followers, you can always find someone that's got great content on TikTok that's just a little bit above you, maybe double or 10,000 views or whatever. So I messaged her, and I'm like, and of course, how I message people I don't message people on TikTok. I go into their Instagram. It's a lot easier to get through on Instagram than it is TikTok when you're messaging people. So I messaged them, and I just said, hey, I would love to do a collaboration with you. And my wife and I are going to be coming out to Arkansas. I would fund the whole thing financially if you could take my daughters, who are California surfer girls, blonde hair, blue eye girls. If you all, and they're about the same age, they're all the same kind of girls, right? Can you take my girls hunting? We TikTok, we YouTube it, the whole thing. Guess what's going to happen? I'm going to have fun with my baby girls. I'm going to take my wife on an adventure. We're going to Arkansas. And oh, by the way, we have a big team in Arkansas. So I'll meet with our team and do collaborations with my team in TikTok. And then we're going to go to Arkansas. We're going to go hunting with these girls, these 21-year-old girls, and maybe their parents. And my daughters are going to be able to do co-collaboration. We're going to grow their TikTok. They're going to grow our TikTok. We're going to collaborate together. We're going to build relationships with other like-minded, Christian-minded people in our kind of our, you know, right? And we're going to learn something new, and we're going to have fun, right? So the fastest way to grow TikTok, the way that I grew TikTok the fastest, wasn't because I'm that freaking funny on TikTok in the beginning stages. What helped me get that going was my daughters. Madison, she's like, I thought it was stupid at first. I'm like, what's going on here? And as she started putting me in her TikToks, my TikTok would grow, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I saw the collaboration and the leverage. And then now it's very mutual, where we can cross promote. And even my wife did not want to do TikTok. Every video that you see on Kim's, I'm going to be in trouble, on her TikTok, because she's so busy building her business. She's more actively building on Instagram and Facebook. She did not want anything to do with TikTok. I had to bribe her with sex. No, I'm just kidding. I had to bribe her to do TikToks. She wouldn't do it. But her account's over 130,000 people. Why? Because I tag her in every video, whether she likes it or not. And of course, she's done some TikToks over the last few months, but not as much. If you look at her account and my account, is not as much. So doing collaborations, and listen, don't all you go to Marina Simone and say, hey, you want to do a collaboration? Just because she's maybe in your up team, or she's maybe you're in her coaching, there's no way she can do that. Maybe she can for 1%. I'm not even saying she's obligated to do anything like that, but I would find people that you can collaborate with, because it's the fastest grade. Just like I did with my fitness buddies, they got over 100 followers from one video, and I'm most likely they wouldn't have gotten that many followers. So doing a collaboration, and I don't know if this is true or not, because no one really knows how to go viral. No one really knows what the algorithm is like. No one. But what I did here, and I just believe it, is that when my face or my daughter's face or my wife's face is in one of your TikToks, or someone that's got some followers, when you put Marina Simone in your followers and your TikTok, I heard that it can facial recognize that Marina or me or someone that has a little bit, they can recognize that there's a popular creator. Boom. The algorithm goes to it. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I have seen it to be true-ish. Again, I don't know for sure, but it looks like every time that I'm in someone else's TikTok, their account usually grows a little bit faster. So a lot of you are working way too hard, just thinking that it's all about great content, which it is, but you also want to leverage the other aspect of growing your social media. Get out of your house. For those of you that are getting out of your house, and go meet with some people, or maybe do some collaborations through a Zoom of some sort, or something creative, and figure out a way when you can to do some collaborations. Will grow your account a lot faster. All right, we went long. Wow. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. There's so much more I want to share with you, but thank you so much, Marina, if you're watching this, which I know you are. So weird not being able to see all of you on a Zoom. But yeah, don't overthink it. Go for it. You got this. You got a purpose inside. You're creating the image of God for a very particular purpose. And social media just happens to be one of the biggest platforms in the world to do it. It's not about your ego of getting a big account. It's not about trying to just look good. If you're doing it for just clout, I don't know about you, but it's too hard to me. I can't do it for just the clout. I'm doing it for a very strategic reason. All right. If this offered you, if you're going to crush TikTok, I want you to put, I'm in. If you're going to crush TikTok, I'm all in. If you're going to crush social media in general, if you're going to go for it in a bigger way than ever before, just say, I'm all in. Marina, you're amazing. You're an amazing leader. I'm so excited. Now I get to have you come into my community, right? I can't wait to have you share in our community. Thank you so much, World Changers, for being here as well. God bless you and have an incredible time. And I can't wait to see. Oh, by the way, go check me out on TikTok, Tom Challan. Tom, Challan, and comment on my last prank that I did with Kim on the Zoom today. If you were on this training, go into my TikTok, follow me, go comment and let me know that you were there on Kim's the last post that I did. Just put a comment on there. Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Kari, Baral. Look at all these interesting names. I'm sorry if I'm butchering. Tegan. Yeah. Tom Challan. Here, I'll put in the comments. If someone could just type in Tom and then Challan, if you guys want to follow me on the social webs. Here, I'll put in the comments right now. A little bit delayed there. But I'll leave it up for a quick second, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. There's my handle. My wife's is Kim, at Kim Challan. If you want to see what she does. And again, we don't pitch a lot of business stuff on there, so there's no funnels right now or anything like that. It's just fun. Right now, it's, again, 99.999% fun, relational. But again, they both work depending on what you do. All right. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this amazing community. God bless you. And I cannot wait to say thank you, Kathy. Cannot wait to see you all on TikTok, but you got to put out some good content, right? Like Marina does. God bless you guys. Do you hear me say you guys? God bless you. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. All right, World Changers. Great to have you here as well. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this live stream that I did with another leader in our community, a seven-figure earner. But I wanted you to listen in as well, because I don't go through a lot of details on how we do our social webs. We're going to start doing a lot more training on this here in the future. But you guys were kind of like a fly on the wall behind the scenes of seeing kind of what Kim and I do with social media. So God bless you. Have a great day.